Hello, my name is Henry Rosenbaum.
And I'm Robbie Dawson. We're the Hot Air Balloonatics, and we've been lucky enough to partner with Wind Vineyards at Laurel Grove to help coordinate the balloon pilots and charter flights at this year's Wine, Balloons, and Tunes event the weekend of May 17th, 18th, and 19th. We've created this briefing video for those who have reserved a charter flight to share some important information so that you can have the best experience possible.
First and foremost, safety is our primary concern. Ballooning is a safe sport, but if not taken seriously, it can have negative outcomes. For that reason, if it's not the right condition to fly or to put up the tether balloons or even to conduct the glows, we will not do those operations. We have selected some of the most experienced and professional balloon pilots and crews for this event. All of the pilots hold a commercial pilot license as well as an FAA medical certificate, and are required to meet the same FAA regulations as a commercial pilot. Also, ballooning is a sport that's very dependent on the weather. While rain and thunderstorms are obvious things that keep us on the ground, the less obvious issue is the wind. And not just the wind speed at the surface, but the wind speed aloft. If the wind speed and/or the forecasted wind speed is above the normal safe flying conditions, then we will cancel the flight. Sometimes we can make this call the day before or the evening before the scheduled flight, but occasionally we have to make the call while we're on the launch field with the passengers and the crews and we're ready to go. While this is truly disappointing, it's always better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air than in the air wishing you were on the ground.
Balloons fly the best and safest right after sunrise. That's when the winds can be most favorable. So we're asking you to be at the launch field not later than 5:30 a.m. Once there, you'll be paired up with your pilot and crew. Keep in mind that the launch field is not at the main winery. We will meet at the event field, which is just off of Richmond Road or Route 360 on Dunbrook Road, Route 620. Pass through the gate and parking will be near the barn. Make sure you dress for the weather and the sport of ballooning. You'll be outdoors for most of the trip, so take a look at the weather and dress for the forecast. Also, footwear should anticipate climbing in and out of the basket, so sandals and open-toed shoes are not recommended.
Once you've been introduced to your pilot, they will go over some more detailed briefings that will be specific to their balloon and their operation. They will most likely ask you to sign a traditional waiver for their insurance purposes. Make sure you pay close attention to their instructions before the flight. This is the time for you to ask questions and make sure you know what is expected from them.
Once the decision has been made to fly, crews will begin to lay out the balloon system. That includes the basket, an inflation fan, and what's known as the envelope or the actual balloon that provides lift. Most crews will allow you to participate in the setup and inflation. This is all part of the experience, so feel free to be part of the crew.
Once the balloon has been inflated and is standing upright, the pilot will direct you to enter the basket. While some balloon baskets are different, most have an opening or a step in the side of the basket that will assist you in climbing in. Once you're in the basket, make sure you understand where to stand and what you can hold on to, and remember, if you're not sure, ask the question. Once you've lifted off, simply enjoy the ride. But when landing, things get a little busy for your pilot. Robbie will discuss some general tips as you are approaching to land, and remember, these are generalities. Make sure to follow the directions from your pilot in command.
First, you're an extra set of eyes in the balloon. Watch out for obstructions, particularly power lines. They can be difficult to see from above, and if you see them, point them out to your pilot. They would rather see them twice than miss seeing them once. Next, when landing, we try to have the softest landing possible, but occasionally when there's a little breeze or in smaller landing spaces, the balloon may land with some motion. That's why we tell passengers to hang on and bend those knees. Normally, this feels like jumping off of the last step and landing on the ground, so bending your knees acts like a shock absorber. But make sure you put down that camera and hold on with both hands as well to keep everyone in the basket safe.
Lastly, when landing, do not get out of the basket until the pilot directs you to. Your weight is actually ballast, and suddenly losing your ballast could cause the balloon to go back in the air again. You don't want to give those that remain in the basket an extra flight.
Once your flight is ended, the chase crew will be there to pack up the balloon, load it into the vehicle, and return you to the launch field where you can share your experiences with others who have joined you in the oldest form of human flight. Finally, don't forget some important items. Make sure you bring along your camera or your cell phone to take pictures and document the event.
To wrap things up, thank you for your interest in the Wind, Balloons, and Tune events that's at Wind Vineyards this May. We look forward to meeting you, and once your flight is completed, please come back for the activities that are scheduled for Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please email us at hotairballoonatics@gmail.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see videos from last year's balloon event and other flights.